Thank you, Mark. Other questions? Let's go. Oh, come on down here. Excuse me. Get on the side of the room.
Hi, my name is Ryan Godwin. I'm a junior psychology student from Cleveland, Ohio. And my question for you was, what do you personally do to ensure that your company maintains a free and safe environment for the expression of all thoughts and feelings?
Yeah, I mean, this is a big one. I think my framework for this, if you want to create a well-informed community, I think there are two things that you need. One is a diversity of viewpoints, which you can achieve by giving everyone a voice and getting the viewpoints out there. And the other is enough common ground in the views that people have that you can make progress together, right? So if people just have different if our shared view of reality fragments so much that we don't kind of share any common views on how to get things done together, then we're going to have a hard time making progress as a society. So we think about both of those issues. And there have been a lot of issues around misinformation in the last year. So people talk about fake news, but I think that there's actually more beyond that. I also worry about sensationalism and polarization. Right, so it's one thing if news is fake, but I think an issue that's almost just as big is when news outlets take real facts, but they cherry pick them to construct a narrative which is clearly very one-sided. Right, and I think we see that on all sides of the spectrum, and not just in politics. Right, I mean that's happening in discussions about business, around sports, around any different kind of area where you could have that debate. I think we're seeing that kind of polarization. So the question is, how do you resolve this? And there are folks who say, hey, you should just not allow some of this stuff. And our approach has always been much more focused on how can you combat misinformation by allowing a greater diversity of opinions rather than less. So, I talked about things like people can flag something if they think it's incorrect, so that way we can have a third-party fact checker weigh in. But again, it's not saying, hey, you can't share this thing if you believe it or if you think it's funny or you think it's good, but a person who's reading it may also benefit from knowing that in addition to the fact that you wanted to share this piece, this respected third-party fact checker disputes the fact that it's true. Right. So, but I think that that's always the approach that you want to take. And we've been the subject of a bunch of controversy on some issues. I mean, we have a board member who is an advisor to the Trump administration, Peter Thiel. And I personally believe that if you want to have a company that is committed to diversity, you need to be committed to all kinds of diversity, including ideological diversity, right? So I think that folks who are saying that we shouldn't have someone on our board because they're a Republican, I think that's crazy, right? I think you need to have all these different kinds of diversity if you want to make progress together as a society. But I do believe that the answer is getting different views out there and increasingly giving people a voice. So that way you can get more different opinions out there, and also building tools so that we can bring people together and have enough common ground to move forward on that together.
Great, thank you. Next one.